So when it comes to nutritional protocols, there's three things I would consider and three major factors that are going to help you succeed relative to the amount of output that you have going on. I'm always going to prioritize output over anything else because of the benefits from health, but then also looking at it from a standpoint of like, it is a lot easier to control hunger when there is more food coming in relative to the amount of output, and it's easier to get more benefit of the general choices that you make off that food. Naturally, if you get more food and you are wasting that opportunity with poor decisions with food, that naturally will throw into the balance of what's going to happen with that. So calories in, calories out is going to be one of the biggest debates that will happen. You'll look at it as a macro base and your protein, carbs and fats being 4 and 9 calories per gram. Alcohol is 7. But that will naturally play a role into what choices you make in terms of the general volume of those foods, and also how much you can actually consume within a certain period of time that's going to help you. If you're going to the gym, the protein is going to help the recovery side. If you're more into your endurance sports, carbs is also going to be a bit of a higher priority for you, but carbs will still play a mainstay because it is one of the main utilizations to create energy. So your carbs turns into glucose, that turns into glycogen, where your biggest biggest storage will be in your muscle and your liver. So that will play a massive role into how the body responds. Fat will play a massive role in terms of hormone regulation, and that will play a massive role into things like leptin and ghrelin, which will play into your appetite. And if you are naturally picking a dietary option where you are eating less food, they will play a lot more into how you can succeed long term. This then brings me into something that doesn't get talked about that much, and it looks into meals and meal timings and meal sizing. Intermittent fasting is obviously going to be one of the biggest debates that will come through because people just think it is a general reduction in the amount of meals will help you in terms of the amount of calories that you have per day, which is great. However, there is a aspect of two. If you're eating less food and you are training at certain times, is that reduction in food going to affect your training status, and is it going to make you into a position where you can't actually train as much? So your actual output is reduced because of the amount of effort that you can put into said training. And I'd also look at it as a conversation I had with a woman the other day, where if you are having a 2,000 calorie day and you are having 2 meals, that is 1,000 calories per meal that your body's got to digest. If you are naturally expecting every single time that you're going to eat is going to be 1,000 calories, that is going to play a massive role into what your body will expect as a feeding each time. So if you are looking into it and saying like, right, if I drop 500 calories within a meal, if you dropped half your food, your body's going to respond quite poorly in terms of hunger, and that is going to play a massive role into how you regulate for the rest of the day, with your hunger just being like, I need to eat. Whereas you look into an aspect of, what's 2,000? So we could arguably say 700 calories roughly per meal, a lot more manageable, but then you look into it where your body doesn't need as much to stay satisfied, and it's satisfied for longer during the day. You've got carbs coming in during the day when you're naturally going to be burning glycogen throughout the day, because no one just sits still all day or just lies in bed, even though if you're just lying in bed, you are going to be burning calories. So you look at it as like, if your regulation for your body to require 700 calories, does your body then go into an absolute meltdown if it drops by 50 calories? No. Whereas if you were on a 2,000 calorie diet and you dropped 300 calories, as an example, 150 calories per meal, that is going to be quite a big jump relative to we would be to say 3 meals is 100 calories, which doesn't break the bank. So for me, intermittent fasting isn't one of the most effective tools. It's more so just looking into kind of like the easiest way of putting a label on not eating as much food. So I don't